Grim greetings and spooky salutations to you, dear thrill seeker and purveyor of terror and chill. Enter, if you dare, into the dark sanctum of the Psycho Kino for a special and ghastly offering of movies most foul. From his slumber, under this fullest of moons, we have awoken the vision caster himself, Floyd The Bud Cotton, to cast into your very souls black offerings of terror and horror, spewed from the hellish and harrowing minds of Luke Seared and Graham Thomas. For they, the servants of despair and degradation, invite you to join them in a journey deep into the darkest heart of dread, into the very center of fear. Pray to God, lowly mortal, that you have the courage to come with us now into the abyss of Racehorse Movies Halloween Special, Envocato Desperium. Hello, and welcome to this, our second ever Halloween special of Racehorse Movies, back in the Psycho Kino. This is exciting, this is spooky, this is scary stuff. Let's just say hello to my spooktacular buddy, Mr. Luke Seared. How are you doing?
I am very well, thank you so much, my wonderful, ghoulish, gore-covered Graham Thomas, man. How lovely to be sat looking at your beautiful and obviously absolutely terrifying face again. Hello, everyone out there as well. It's really nice to be back.
So any announcements from you, anything?
Well, actually, I do have a very exciting...
It's a rustle.
We got a letter delivered to the Mine Cinema the other day, actually,
which
I was going to read to you sooner, but I thought we'll do it live on air, man. It's from a very fond acquaintance of ours. No return address, arrived last week, somewhat ragged, smells somewhat of cigarettes, which might give you a clue as to who this may be from.
I see.
It looks like it is from Floyd or Lloyd, who is still on a sabbatical, obviously, from the Mine Cinema. He is still greatly missed, although we so thank Ludo for stepping in and doing some of the most marvellous projection in Floyd Lloyd's absence. Now, Floyd Lloyd, he's recently insisted that we refer to him as both of these things over the past few months. I think our eagle-eared listeners to the podcast will probably have noticed his name sort of fluctuating, and he has been in, frankly, an odd mood, shall we say. And kind of ever since we were delivered a certain batch of film from a certain place. But I'm going to let the letter do the talking now, if that's okay. I'm just going to read it out in full.
Please do.
The two a-holes, I presume that's us.
I think that's us.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say. And
two a-holes.
Thank you, Floyd. The fingers I'm using to write to you should be busy spooling. They miss it, need it. I find myself waking with a start, sweaty in cheap motel beds, hands out in front of me, going through the motions. I need to come back and spool. It's the only thing that's ever felt right in this two-bit dog's life. I need to come back, but I can't. The letter from Cinecetta di Bologna shook me up, dug up things within me that were better off left buried. Cutting together Golden Maverick felt wrong. Restoring something which should never have been restored felt like goddamn blasphemy. It got inside me, a celluloid botfly. Got me thinking wrong again, like I used to before Bologna. Some evils need to be remembered so they won't be repeated, and some are aberrations so great they should be reduced to atoms, destroyed in a complete and final sense. If I am ever to return, then you gotta destroy the film. Burn that film, for your sake and mine. You tell Ludo he's doing a fine work, just like I taught him. Give my highest regards to Francesca, she runs a tight ship. You two, pull your heads out of your asses and do like Floyd says. Don't nobody touch my damn smokes. Floyd.
Oh man, I feel somewhat responsible for locking the Mine Cinema doors and keeping him in it over an entire weekend to edit that film.
Look, all I'm saying, Graham, is, one, guys, go back and listen to the Golden Maverick episode and you will get some much fuller context as to what that all is about. But it is safe to say, Graham, I think we have, as suspected, invited something quite dark into the confines of the Mine Cinema, and something that we might need to deal with after we have finished pitching our fine pitches to this fine audience and terrifying them beyond all measure we should probably do some lightweight celluloid ghost busting of our own, is all I'm saying.
Well, I'm all up for that.
Okay, all right, well, gird yourself, Graham. This is the start, and after we have wrapped this up, we have got some business to do in the vault, okay?
So, before we get some pitching, have you got any movies you want to talk about? Any spooky horror films come your way?
I watched Speak No Evil, the remake. Forgive me for being a Philistine, but I watched the Blumhouse remake of, I think it was a Dutch movie that was released in 2022. And
Yes.
Speak No Evil with the powerhouse that is James McAvoy. And he is,
isn't he?
I get increasing time for him the more and more he acts and exists in this wonderful world, man. He's so good and he's so committed, and what a performer. A really, really good, tight, straight up horror. Couple befriend another couple on holiday. They get in, think everything's great. This couple's a real dynamic, cool, sexy. We want to hang out with them more. We'll accept their invitation to go to the West Country and visit them on their farm for a week. And then we witness the unraveling of everything, obviously, because it's a Blumhouse horror. I'm not going to say any more about it, but I will say the performances across the board. There's only about 6 people in the entire movie. Everyone brings the absolute A game to match the ferocity and terror and tension that is caused by the beast himself, Mr. James McAvoy, who was absolutely brilliant. What about yourself? What's been going into your eyeballs?
The 2 films I wanted to talk about more in depth. One, a Grand Guignol style horror masterpiece. Another, a low budget but very, very effective short to medium length horror film. But first, I think we should all take some time to talk about the absolute balls to the wall horror comedy masterpiece that was The Substance. It's unreal. It's
absolutely
so good.
Incredible, wasn't it, man?
For those people who haven't seen it yet, it's Coralie Forget's second feature after Revenge.
Yeah.
And The Substance is a kind of body horror psychological thriller in which an aging TV star, former movie star, played brilliantly by Demi Moore, finds out that she's about to lose her spot on her primetime TV show to a younger up-and-coming talent, or they're auditioning for a younger up-and-coming talent. And in her darkest hours, she receives advice to call this number, this, as you always do, the secret mysterious number. She calls it and they give her this package, which has an injection in it and some other accoutrement. She injects herself and gives a sort of birth to a younger duplicate version of her. It's they're the same person, but they have independent thoughts, desires, motives. And while one is sleeping for 7 days, or one is comatose for 7 days, the other one gets to live their life for 7 days, and they have to swap every 7th day.
And that is the rule. You cannot wait a second after that. You must swap on the end of the 7th day.
Yeah, so you get to live your life with a youthful exuberance, and then you swap back over. And of course, with youthful exuberance comes greed and avarice, and things very,
not
very
thinking
quickly,
about the future.
Not thinking about the future. Things very, very quickly go south. This turns into this cat and mouse psychological thriller horror between the battle of wills between the older version and the younger version, and then it soon goes to a very violent end game on that, and then it goes into society, the fly levels of just absolute gore, splatter, monstrosity after monstrosity. It is amazing. It's so good. I mean, people like you and I have seen this kind of stuff before, so we're kind of on board. We expect where it's coming because it's a Demi Moore film and it's quite flashy. I think there are a lot of people in the screening that I went to who just weren't expecting where it was going to go.
Yeah.
So looking around in the audience and seeing people physically looking like they're going to be sick.
Yeah,
was incredible.
It was awesome. And some people laughing, and it was amazing. The panoply of reactions that was going on around the cinema. Absolutely. It was so cool to be sat there and not just, I'm not just reacting because the music has swelled and someone has arrived on screen or something like that. It's like, everyone's having quite personal reactions to this, dotted, like little landmines going off around the whole theatre. It was so exciting to be in that space.
I was fine. I was laughing in a great way. I was horrified. It was disgusting. It was profound. And it was Coralie Forget just absolutely swinging for the fences
and
not
nailing
just Babe Ruthing it. It was unreal.
The Substance, while it's in the theatres and it may still be get in there and watch it. You'll have a absolutely flipping cracking time.
And so that was the substance. In the other film, the other end of the scale, especially budget-wise and production technique-wise, is a YouTube semi-phenomenon film that's come out called Milk and Cereal by an up-and-coming filmmaker called Curry Barker.
Okay.
It's free to watch. It's on YouTube. It's an hour long. The premise of the film, Milk and Cereal, is that two YouTube pranksters who prank each other. And each prank gets bigger and bigger and bigger and more dangerous. However, on one of their birthdays, one of them organises quite a hefty prank.
That sounds like such a bad idea.
It doesn't go wrong, but it kind of a little bit leveled up from what the normal pranks that they do.
Yeah.
Not realising that the person, his mate, who he's pranking, has got it in him to go so much further with his level of pranking. Like, if you want to take it here, I'm going to take it here. The whole thing is filmed like YouTube pranks. It's all kind of found footage. It's all edited. It's all shot on like iPhones.
And it's them in the movie as well, is it? Sorry,
it's them acting in the movie.
And are they're I guess convincing because they're kind of playing versions of themselves and whatnot.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Okay,
and then it just kind of escalates, and it takes a turn after about. That's only an hour long, so in the second hour, about 20 minutes in, and you realise the person that got pranked, his mate, is really.
Might have just been waiting for this opportunity for his entire life to.
Some might say preparing for this opportunity his entire life.
Yeah, okay, man.
And I think it shows a hell of a lot of promise. It's really good. It's not perfect. It's really good. It's great performances.
Brilliant.
But
man.
it just shows like a really good script, great concept, great acting, and you can make anything. You can really make a great film. I'm going to write articles about it. I think
that's really like inspiring and cool to hear.
Yes. And I like the bravura nature of it, because when the film starts, it says Milk and Cereal. And in a kind of John Carpenter's a thing, it says Milk and Cereal from the mind of Curry Barker.
Yes,
it's like,
amazing.
Good for you, lad.
Yeah, too
good
right,
for you.
dude.
So yeah, check out Milk and Cereal. We'll definitely put a link to it in the show notes, so you can all go and watch it.
Thank you so much for the heads up as well.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Appreciated.
But I think we should probably
crack on,
get into the Psycho Kino and start delivering some incredible, scary pitches.
Right, we have got a couple of horses from a place where horses run, that's for damn sure. Graham, I gave you I'm Next, I believe.
You did, you certainly did. I'm Next, a great title for a horror film, if ever there was one.
And I think in return you gave me Tobago Moon.
Tobago Moon, yes. Okay, this is Luke's scary, spooky pitch for Tobago Moon.
We are loosey-goosey here. So I just got a bit of an idea here, Graham. So we're going to pitch in. We're going to have a nice chat as this goes on. I certainly hope so, or else there'll be a lot of dead air. Right, that's the last one. So we're going to... the film, Tobago Moon, is going to centre around Monique Kenyatta. And her sister is recently deceased. So she has had to move back to Tobago to look after her poor ma, who is still completely racked with grief. And Monique has had to quit her anthropology degree that she was doing
so modern
in
times?
the States. Yeah. We're nowadays. Okay. We are nowadays indeed. So to tie things over and to help the family out, Monique has got a job at the new Hyper Resort as a PA to Pete Prost, the owner and genius behind his relaxation space for blue sky babies, big thinkers, tech, mech, and pecs. And his hyper resort is consistently encroached upwards throughout the land, paying off anyone who gets in the way, obviously, man. So that's kind of the setting. First job, as I say, is working for Prost. And he's like, new PA, right, you're going to be my welcome girl, his words. And so poor Monique is set about ferrying around, picking up all of Pete Prost's mates who have come in to look at the wonderful expansion that they have poured a lot of their money into, their investor mates. They're all, of course, massive dicks. As Monique goes to collect all of these terrible, morally bankrupt people from the airport, we'll do some, exposition dumps in the cab rides when Monique is alone with the various cab drivers, the local cab drivers. Yeah. We'll find out that her sister used to work at the resort, something like that, maybe. Whenever Pete Prost is brought up. The cab drivers will sneer and spit out the window and say very disparagingly, papa, bois. Like absolute contempt for the man and everything he does. One of the first times that everyone gets together, Prost will have invited everyone out to witness the felling of one of the last trees that is in the way of his like amazing development, man. And that's going to be a silk cotton tree. And these are like exceptionally, you do not cut these down. If you cut down a silk cotton tree in Trinidad and Tobago, you are going to unleash spirits, kind of a thing, man. It is a massive, massive no-no. Right. We see it just felled in the background, round of applause, everyone's happy, bottles of champagne, all of that kind of jazz, man. As Monique has been introducing everyone to the island and doing the PA thing and welcoming everyone, she's giving everyone welcome packs as well. So we'll see that as like that's occurring throughout the movie, man. So now we need to work out. I've got some of the local and quite beautifully a rich tapestry, of folklore that we can draw from. That can all rip asunder our 5 transgressors. These absolute bastards who are currently tearing a swathe through the island. And also there's a ticking clock whereby the Tobago Moon at the end of the month, there'll be this great moonlight ceremony where the rest of the resort will be opened and all of the finances will be there, and like Pete Prost will be hailed as the true Papa Bois who has brought such bounties to the land, kind of a thing.
Papa Bois, like minions or different folky legends have come, and they can, like, if we can find ones that are appropriate to each of the arsehole men.
Absolutely. So we've got, like, for the sex pest dude.
The sex pest.
That's how he's known, I'm sorry. And he will have got to a point of making Monica exceptionally uncomfortable. And, like, Monica, like, throughout this is going to be quite insistent that the gift bags, everyone's still got their gift bags, so we'll go, and the first reveal we'll get of what is inside these gift bags is when Sex Best Dude, and then we'll see Sex Best Man. He'll sort of like go like Barry will walk around his apartment, and he'll go
Jared Brand,
yes, there we go, mate. Right, so yeah, young Jared. So Jared Brand is walking around taking off all of his jewelry and whatnot, and combing out his hair, and goes over to the gift bag, this little trinket, this little totem. And it seems to be sort of like it's a sort of creature of some kind. And you're just like, oh God, all this nonsense, man. Maybe I'll put it on my necklace. I'll wear it tomorrow, man. I'll get one of the lackeys to drill through, but I'm going to leave that over there. He'll go out for a swim, and that's where Mama Glow will turn up, man.
Mama Glow,
half woman, half snake. And again, another legend, and he will be in the pool having a lovely time, and you can imagine it, man. It's like one of those, it's all bottom lit, really nice and green, and you've got the steam rising off the pool, and around it all is the beautiful sort of Tobago foliage. And then we'll slowly hear a bloop, 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 and something will like go into the end of the pool down there, and he's like unsure, and then up will rear this incredible sort of like half snake, half woman, which is Mama Glow.
Just to tease it up a bit more, he's swimming in the pool.
Yeah, sorry, I got too excited about her arrival.
He's swimming in the pool, and then there's like a little water snake just swims past him. He passes it away, and then there's another one. He kind of throws it out the pool, and then there's another one. And as he's swimming, there's a few more around him. The camera pans up, and you see behind him in the pool, there's just like thousands of them coming towards him.
The pool is writhing.
The pool's writhing behind him, and then he turns around, and obviously he gets the horror, and they're kind of biting him, and he kind of crawls out of the pool, and they jump out of the pool, but they die or something when they're out of the water. So he thinks he's safe from all these this soup of snakes or whatever. But then he's crawling towards the foliage, and that's when.
And then you just see, because it's the top half that is a beautiful woman as far as Mama Glow is concerned, and it's the bottom half. So we'll get the nice top half reveal, and she is...
he could crawl into the foliage, and a hand could come out of the foliage at ground level and grab him, and he's like, oh, thank God
you're here.
He could see her face, and she's like... And she's really beautiful. And
she's absolutely
her eyes go
intoxicating. Crazy. Well, then the eyes, snake eyes, man. Like you get your beautiful snake eye contracts.
Drags him into the foliage, screams, da-da-da-da-da, shudder, 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 and then from the foliage we just get all his bones spat out.
Well...
She's just eaten and digested him, spat.
Yeah, well, I was thinking like the anacondaing, like until his insides become out. So 100%,
nice.
mate. Exactly that. So we'll have like in the clasp, nestled next to her half top woman bosom, like nestled next to that, like blood coming out, and then the vomit from outside the foliage of just all of his bones and bits.
Before that happens, can we explode his gonads?
Oh, yes, dude, yes.
Death by soupy snake swimming pool plus mama glow in the foliage and exploded.
Yeah, exactly that, man. So that's the first death.
Excellent.
And so I guess we'll have the effect of that on the crew. They don't really care because they're all just rich dudes who don't really like each other anyway, to be honest, man. But actually the Bill Paxton-esque, the nicer dude is a little bit shook up about it, and there's a little bit less boing in his step, I guess, man. We need like Monique as well to... Mm-hmm. We'll see her go in and we'll see her picking up that the totem that had fallen out, and that's when she goes to do that 7 o'clock call that we mentioned previously. We'll see Monique going in and just like pocketing that. So so Monique is summoning obviously all of these spirits. So we've got a couple of other people to off, obviously in various ways, man, and we've got like we've got some sort of duendes, which are the spirits of children, which I would quite like to unleash on one of the
children of the corn.
One of the 4, exactly, man. Yeah. We just need some tall grass, I guess, and we're sorted, man. And they are like their feet are turned backwards. their feet are turned backwards, and they have no faces, and they've got like massive like mushroom shaped.
Isn't that just someone facing the other way?
I think we're at the bottom of this one. I think Tobago. I think we've resolved one of your long-standing folklores. You're welcome.
It's just someone walking backwards towards you.
He's got beanie hats on. Yeah, of
idiots.
Course. Yeah, bloody hell. I think the duendes would be really good for the next kill because we've had a really nice, like, very visceral, sort of like gory man getting squeezed by a snake until his bits fall out, and that's great. And then we'll have maybe a calmer, more terrifying, ghostly, ethereal like attack of the spirits of the children, the duendes of the forest that have been let out because the silkwood tree was cut down, man.
Okay. He made his money from sweatshops or something.
Yeah.
He runs factories making microchips in wherever they have that.
Yeah, okay, 100%, man. And he will be lured by the duendes.
And they live in the forest.
Yeah. If you're around there, you shouldn't be calling your children or anything like that, because if you call your children, then the duendes will remember the name and they will call the children in and lure them away, man. And we'll have his name being called out in the middle of the forest, maybe by these duendes, and he'll be led out and out and out.
Oh, I've got an idea.
Hit me with it, baby.
He's there with his wife. She's part of the troop. She's very complicit in the slave labouring, totally profitable, turn a blind eye or whatever.
Oh, dripping with finery.
Dripping, absolutely dripping with swagoo. She's loaded, right? So during the day, they have a very, not so much open marriage, but they're in it for the money. They don't really give a fuck about each other. One day, she goes out parasailing. She, does her bit. She's parasailing, and the person in the boat who controls it just lets go of unclips the cord. So she parasails off, right? And she parasails off and crash lands into the depths of the jungle. Day goes on. He hasn't seen his wife. He's probably assuming she's banging the pool guy or something like that.
Yeah.
Comes towards the evening. Where is she? He's getting ready for the dinner. Snake dude has just been blown up. But then he hears her voice, or his phone rings, or something like that. And he hears from the forest.
Yeah, we hear the voice.
And he goes out to get her. She's drunk or something like that. Or there's some reason for him to be lured by her or the spirit of her voice, which is the duendes or whatever they're called.
Yeah, duendes, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Duendes. He follows and he lures into the forest, and we have lots of alone in the forest audio trickery that you always get, like the voices from over here, and he runs that way, and then it's over here, and then he runs that way, and he's lost. He's
and
turned
the feet
around.
are behind him, but the feet aren't behind him, and like he'll start to get more and more. Yeah, and they're backwards. They're not backwards.
He's just completely lost now. He's totally turned around. He's in the forest, and they're the children of the corn.
And they will lure him into, I think, like one of the sort of last excavation pits or something left from the sort of great expansion of the resort that's happening, and that's him.
Can he get buried alive?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely.
He gets impaled on the big girder, and it's like 20 feet in the air. It's a really tall girder. And he's just slowly sliding down it. Like a kebab to the ground. For somehow he's still alive, and you think, oh my God, he's in a bad shape. And then the pole starts sinking into the bog or something like that, and he just gets buried alive whilst being impaled by a 20-foot
Yes,
spike.
mate, yes. So we have a succulent, also known as old hags. Again, not my words, the words of folklore. And these things are kind of badass, man, because they turn into balls of fire. They enter houses at night and suck human blood. If it's not enough that you turn into a ball of fire and enter someone's house, it's like what's more terrifying, Graham, than a normal vampire? A flaming vampire.
A flaming vampire that doesn't need permission to enter your house.
They're coming in all of the houses, man. Yeah. Just burn through that wall. Done.
Okay, so how does the evil dude who's about to get skip up and make his fortune? What's he doing that evil?
He sells hearths.
Shell suits. He just shell suits and warfarin on the black market. Statins.
What has he done, man? Yeah, well, he bought some skin regeneration drugs for skin cancer sufferers, burns victims, etc. Man, and this drug that he bought is genuinely it's next level. The way it can regenerate, remove scar tissue. So he's gatekeeping that, and he is only using that now, and he is selling that on not as a medical cure. He's selling that as a beauty product.
Yeah, he's selling it to ultra rich people.
So and he is Rob Lowe in Behind the Candelabra.
Yes.
We're going to have him somewhat like
so
that.
So he's going to melt, right? When he gets near the fire.
Oh, he's going to melt
he's
so bad.
Like a candle. He's just going to be... Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we'll have the dude, the Rob Lowe from Behind the Candelabra. We'll have him reference to Monique several times throughout the movie. Like, who is that? Does she work here? And Monique's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And we'll get glimpses of this old hag, in the background, looking completely horrific.
Yeah, he's in the sauna and she's on the other side of the window, all steamed up and murky. And is there someone there?
It's like The Shining, the lady in The Shining in the room 219.
Or at night, in Hereditary at the beginning when she sees the spirit of her mother in the corner, stuff like that.
Yeah. So we're going to just see that through, and then he will be. I guess he's going to be in the gym, I think, or something like that, man, working on himself. And then he's
one of those tech bros that are trying to live forever, right?
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah. He's almost literally half plastic at this point in his life.
Takes loads of weird injections
with the pecs that you the sort of the pecs you insert or one inserts. That are just plastic/silicone, but have the form of muscles, but they're not really muscles.
He's got his own super high-tech pod where he has full body blood transfusions that he's brought with him.
Yep.
To regenerate and stuff. So he has that.
And like needles on a sunbed that just and Botox all of the right areas at once.
A posh man's Iron Maiden. It's just all these needles go inside him.
Right, so he's in that.
He's in that.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Because he's gonna he is genuinely gonna melt like a candle because of all of the prosthetics, etc. that he has had put into himself over the years, man. So instead of him getting blood, we're dealing with a fireball vampire here. It starts sucking the blood out of the tubes attached to the Iron Maiden of youth, man. And that's maybe the first sort of thing. Yeah, he's almost under the skin, shrivelly man.
Manages to get out the Iron Maiden, all shrivelly and
he's shrivelly, but you can see all of the prosthesis that have been put into his body are at sharp relief against his husk of a body, man.
He's crawling across the slippery tiled floor.
And is flipped over and looking up into the face of a hag who then just peels her skin off right in front of him. And he's and she sheds in front of him, bursts into flame, picks him up, the husk with the flaming hand. And we start to see the tallow dripping off and the skin dissolving to reveal all of the pecs that fall off plump, plump, one by one, and all of his fake abs and stuff like that.
Sizzling just lie there bubbling and dripping, still alive.
All of that, man. Yeah, absolutely. And they're just a little puddle of him at the end of it.
On the floor.
And then the bones are tossed into the Iron Maiden of Youth, and the lid is slammed, and that's the end.
Amazing. That's good death.
Oh. Right, so now we're only left with the somewhat sympathetic, Paxton and Pross, man. Yeah, exactly that, as you said, man. So this is where we're going to get a bit of that admission as to what the hell actually happened from Paxton.
Yeah, man. Classic Paxton. It's game over, man.
Monique. Yeah, I can't take this anymore, man. I say we take
so Paxton has to. Paxton needs to
have
have witnessed one of these deaths. Maybe the melty explodey man.
He definitely does. And
no, he needs to
see him.
It can kind of all happen at the same time, maybe. So he can run from one. Oh my god! Run into the woods. Oh my god! And then run back to the house. Oh my god! And we had this sequence from his perspective of this like house of horrors that's going on around him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yes, mate, dude, I love that, man. So we'll get towards like the last bit of the movie, we'll get a sweet little like 3-minute mini film of his like evening at the spa and evening at the resort.
He's just come back from an amazing restaurant. He's got some women on his arm.
He was going to have a swim. Yeah. That all went horribly wrong because we'll see again. We'll get that like the body firing out of the foliage, like you said, man. Like he will witness that.
He'll run
like,
into the
steaming
woods.
plop of that. Yeah, and that's the poolside is by the woods. He'll run out into the woods, try and get away from it. That's where he'll witness the duendes taking his other mate for a complete through the roof till he falls, and then back into the beauty spa.
Sees a light on in the spa, which is actually the fire. They just runs in. Thank God you're awake. Oh my God.
Definitely, man. Yeah, and then like the hag, the succulent is slamming shut the Iron Maiden, and he's out there. He's the hell out of there, man. And that's when he bumps into Monique, maybe. Because Paxton has been like complicit in all of this, obviously, completely. Yeah. As I said, he isn't malevolent like the other dudes, man, but like I don't really care because you're there.
And you did it, exactly. And you covered it up, used your wealth to cover it up.
Yeah, and then maybe we can do some reveals there about what happened to the sister.
Well, he
starts to break
down. It's like a totem of truth.
It?
So he confesses,
and Monique is just like, "I'm not the person you need to tell here," and steps aside. Ooh. And this is where entree the Lagahoo. And the Lagahoo is a shape-shifting monster, which actually is apparently is somewhat linked to the werewolf, but this is so much more metal and badass than the werewolf.
So Monique at this point should be the Lagahoo. Not the real Monique, but the Lagahoo as Monique.
The Lagahoo as Monique. Yeah, you're telling
the wrong person.
The wrong person. And the head lolls backwards because this creature has no head, the Lagahoo. Okay. It has no head, so that is part. You're telling the wrong person, and then it just flops off as she's speaking those words. Amazing,
nice.
And then start.
Does it fall off completely, or does it flop backwards like a hoodie?
We're gonna have it flop backwards in the sort of like a bit like the Thing, man. We're gonna have a little tribute to the head there. And it's gonna flop backwards, and so we'll see the upside down head saying like, "I'm not the right person to be. You know, this is not the person you should be telling it to. I'm telling it to Lagahoo." Whispered. So the Lagahoo is a creature with no head, obviously humanoid form, roams the night with this massive coffin round its neck.
Awesome.
And on top of the coffin, like so much better than a werewolf already. I was really like, cool. Okay, this is nothing like a werewolf. It's so much better than a werewolf. And it's got a wooden coffin in its neck with three lighted candles. And also it's got like a long loose end of a heavy iron chain around its waist, man. So It's like clanking and clanging wherever it goes, mate. And it's always seen like bedecked in chains. And again, seems like an interesting Tobago sort of theme here with some of the folklore. One appendage is turned backwards. Okay. So backwards appendages kicking off all over the place, man. So that's what's happening, by the way. When he drops to his knees, we start to see the leg turning backwards on Monique. Okay, yeah. And then the head.
Oh, he's holding her ankles.
Yeah.
He's kissing her feet. And like one of them just starts revolving. And he's like, what the fuck? And it just starts moving a little bit. And he just kind of tries to follow it with his kisses.
Yeah.
But then it just goes really far around. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Please.
And then my God. But then he needs to sit up really quickly and bang his head on the bottom of the coffin. if we're going slapstick.
He is obviously stuffed inside the Lagahoo's coffin. The coffin lid is slam, blood leaking from the coffin. candles relight. Lagahoo walks out into.
Can he climb himself into the coffin? Like there's like a possession or something, do you think?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So does he climb himself into the coffin and also contort himself to the smaller shape of the coffin? So limbs are breaking and he is
and he's like apologising, he was saying sorry or
just this big splooge of man in a coffin, lid slammed shut, and then candles light the Lagahoo's procession into the forest, never to be seen again, with him still.
Amazing.
Right. And then, obviously, old Pete Prost, Papa Bois, self-entitled Papa Bois, must come to his end. Monique will confront him, but only in a, I know everything that you have done, and it's time for you to go.
I've brought you to the right place. All the villagers are there, and they're ready for the...
And also, like, you know the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when all of the cartoon characters are about?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want, is like all of those folklore that we have seen in such threatening ways are then shown again at the end in a much more sort of like nurturing, they're all on Monica's side kind of a way, and what she has done is a good thing. And then that is where Papa Bois, and I guess it kind of like the end of Training Day when Denzel Washington is on his knees protesting against everyone, man. Be a bit like that maybe, where he's just like, no, what are you doing? You don't know who I am. I'm Papa Bois. Ain't any of you going to help me? You're not going to come to my aid. All the things I brought to this place, how dare you? And then Papa Bois, you just hear the cloven feet coming up. Bah, bah, bah. And then here he is, and I'd like him just to like pull him into like Bone Tomahawk or something like that, man, and leaving Monique ecstatically covered in gore, and she will fall to her knees and say "Bonjour, vieux papa."
Nice.
Which is what you're meant to say to Papa Bois as a sign of respect if you ever encounter him in the woods of Tobago, and he lets her live. But as he does, he parts the forest and brings forth her sister, who did not actually die. She had gone missing in the accident that happened in the forest, man. And the forest brings her back to her, and that is her reward for her stopping him, allowing them entrance into all of the lives and wiping out all of the people who. So
they left her for dead, or they buried her alive.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. So whatever the accident was, in a very bad things kind of way, they just ditched the sister and got the hell out of there. And she's presumed dead. And I guess that's why Monica comes back after a year and not immediately. Because it's like her sister is still... They've just declared her officially dead. And that's what brings Monica back. Right. And then so she is rewarded by being given her sister by the spirits of the forest. Yeah, and that is Tobago Moon. Crikey.
That was fantastic. That was gory. That was funny. That was had all the nice elements of seeing bad guys die horribly and cheering. It's got that
cathartic, mate. Yes, yeah.
It's got some lovely folk horror elements to it. It's got the lot.
Dude, well, thank you, Tobago. You've got so many amazing folk legends and folklore. Like,
oh man, let's cast this puppy. Here we go.
Oh goodness. Lupita Nyong'o, no question about it for Monica. Sorry,
she's amazing.
I saw A Quiet Place Part 1 and I actually liked it a bit because of her.
I liked it a little bit too. She's so good in that.
Great performance.
She can do anything with her eyes. Anything. She's said anything.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep. So, like, without a doubt, man. So, director, like, I don't know, maybe Jordan Peele would be pretty badass at it, man. David Lowery could bring a little bit of some of the
Lowery's a good
weirdness to it. Near DaCosta is a good show. I'd have Near DaCosta, actually, because I thought the Candyman had some brilliant examples of, like, horror, and it was, Near DaCosta is directing. Jordan Peele can produce, of course. I kind of would take a Jared Leto or someone like that, maybe as the Pete Prost man. I think he would be quite good because he's just got to like do the finagling. He's got to be doing the dirty, dodgy deals and being really aloof.
Okay, I've got 3 for Pete Prost.
I think he'd be able to do that, man. Okay, cool.
My 3 for Prost were Piers Brosnan, just because.
Oh,
but he might be a bit old. He might be a bit old.
No, dude, old is absolutely fine.
Not that he's old. I meant for the role for like a tech bro billionaire. They're usually quite young.
Yeah, but like. Big.
We mentioned him before, because we mentioned him before. I had McAvoy, obviously.
Yeah.
Or my third was Jeremy Strong.
Yeah, we're having Strong. Absolutely having strong. That is a really, really good shout. And we'll have McAvoy as the beautified Rob Lowe.
Excellent.
100%, man. And then as the pest, Billy Magnuson.
Yeah, yes, great shout.
Yeah,
we'll have him.
And he's really good at like beer. He'd do Terrified really well, and he'd be like a really good like horribly loose dude for like the other scenes that he's kicking around in as well.
Oh, amazing! All right, sold.
That's it. There we go.
That was
Done.
Tobago Moon. I loved it. I learned a little bit. About backwards facing limbs and folklore.
Yeah, so many backwards facing limbs. They are scary. I'm going to be looking out for them.
That's amazing. Yeah. All right. Okay, well, that leads us on nicely to the next film, which is called
I'm Next. Graham,
which is a very good title for a horror film. So good, in fact, that there were too many ideas to settle on. So I reverted to type and went back to the old gamified approach, which I think
we got some
we've
cards.
done a few. We got some cards. We did it in the Dance and Glance episode, I believe.
Absolutely.
Where I did 2 sets of 3 cards, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. So I've done a similar thing here. A is the type of horror film.
Ooh.
Or the genre, or the subgenre of horror film.
No, yeah, subgenre of horror. Okay, brilliant.
And 3, and like cards 1, 2, and 3 are directors of horror films. They've directed other things, but they're very famous for the horror films that they've done. For the first of 3, hopefully, I'm Next. Give me, please, 1, 2, and 3.
Number 1, please, man.
Number 1. Dario Argento is directing A, B, or C?
B.
Okay, this is going to be tricky. It might not be, I don't know. Dario Argento is directing a folk horror film called I'm Next.
Okay, man. I think you can do that.
So that's probably some kind of curse, a family curse, set in an Italian town or an Italian village.
Yeah, some like Sleepy Village. Yep, absolutely.
It's maybe... in the Suspiria sense, a long-lost relative comes to the town.
Yeah, are they from Italy? Are they from America or something like that?
Yeah, they're visiting on a tour, or they're an exchange student. They're stopping off in the sleepy town to see relatives that they've never seen before. In this village, sleepy village in the north of Italy or the south of Italy? Where do you want to go?
Let's go north.
All right, let's go north. So northern Italian... folk legends.
I was drawing from our great expansive knowledge of Northern Italian folklore, Graham. Who would you suggest as a character in this film?
Well, in Italian folklore, there is a demon or a marquis of hell.
That's such a badass title.
Called Amon. That's a really badass title. It's called Amon. Mate. So he's the great and powerful marquis of the Infernal Empire. He's got the face of a wolf, snake's tail. He vomits flames. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So he also, Amon, commanded 40 legions of demons. And he carries the title of Prince Amon.
I like his bluster, man. I like it. I respect his game. So, okay.
So we have in classic Dario Argento style, we have an American or a European that's not from Italy, backpacker or traveller who's come to this town to meet up with an old family that they've never met en route to studying their exchange thing in Rome or Milan or whatever. However, unbeknownst to her, maybe, and a little bit of a twist, Amon has already been summoned, or a version of Amon has already been summoned in this town. Hasn't taken over the town. Maybe they've trapped it somewhere. And its influence is still kind of seeping out, and it's getting a bit stronger.
Definitely. Yeah, because it hasn't been put to bed. It's just been like locked away. It's not been vanquished or whatever.
But they can't hold it
with her. No.
Yeah, they can't hold it forever. The family need to kind of, I don't know, sacrifice something to it. It needs the soul of an innocent or of a stranger from a strange land.
It must be fed. It must be fed. It must have bounty before it fully retires.
And once it does that, or it's either it has bounty or that's the way to kill it, with the purity of said soul.
Oh, nice.
Back into hell. the American girl, the student tourist, comes to the town. Everything looks amazing. Maybe someone hands her a lemon and she realizes,
I'm part of the family
I'm part of the family now. The equalizer lemon has been handed out
mate.
immediately, because it's going to be a tight 90 minutes, this Dario Argento version. So when she gets there, she sees we can have lots of strange happenings. So it's always mainly going to be shot at night.
At night with lovely colours.
Lovely neon lit streets and colours. Maybe the first time she gets there, you need to have an instance that something's not quite right. So she goes there, maybe she bumps into the street. I'm just going to rip off Suspiria or something. And she bumps in. There's a little girl who's maybe a bit too young to be out at that time of night. She gets out of the taxi. There's a little girl there. She's wearing a very distinctive hood jacket kind of thing. And then maybe later on in the daytime scene, she sees an ancient old woman wearing the exact same
outfit.
Clothes.
Yeah.
Outfit, standing in the same place. Maybe doing the same thing. I'm thinking of John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness with the cyclist on the road.
Yeah.
Where it's a young boy cycles past the car on the midnight highway, and a few minutes later, the same cyclist cycles past, but it's 150 years old.
Yeah.
You can get some. There's two versions of the village. Maybe there's the village as it is now, and then there's the village of what it will be once Eamon's possession and influence has taken over it.
Yeah. Okay.
But everything's generally quite nice for our American backpacker. We'll call her Rosie. Why not? Everything's quite nice for Rosie to start with. She meets the family. They're all lovely. The traditions are a bit odd, but she takes to it because she's really in an Argento way. She's very happy and open-eyed, wide-eyed and innocent and happy to be there.
It would be really nice to get maybe part of the village's tradition involves some kind of nighttime church ceremony or something like that, because we could really play around with the stained glass and all
scary
of the lights.
Nuns. Yeah, scary nuns, nighttime nurse. Yep. We need a cousin who's there, who's going to be her guide, probably of a similar age. He's a dude, but he's supposed to be nice, but he knows what's up. So he's really not on board with it. So he's really drunk. She thinks he's a bit of a party boy or a playboy, but really he knows what's coming and he doesn't want to be part of it. And he's the scared, I want to get out of here kind of.
And is he going to drip feed messages to her, get her alone and try and convince her?
Yeah, he's under the influence of Eamon and the family to lead her into certain actions, or maybe she has to commit tasks by accident in order to prepare her for certain ceremonies. Certain actions, she needs to witness certain things. So there's a guy at a nightclub who's set up to kind of honey trap her. And she thinks that he's just chatting her up and they have a drink, but it's really to prepare her for something that's going to happen later on. Maybe there are people in that village who are resisting. They are resisting Amon's possession. Sometimes they're under the thrall, but sometimes they're not. So she can witness sometime at night coming back from a nightclub where with some teenagers having fun. It's the 70s. It's definitely the 70s. Maybe she witnesses someone dying by suicide by just headbutting a wall.
Yep.
But continually headbutting the wall harder and harder and harder. And she's screaming to try and stop this, but her friends are all laughing at it because they're under the thrall as well. And they're dragging
have
her
that
away.
as they're being maybe that has to be a passing or a relatively passing thing where she is either in a car or a taxi ride home, but they're driving slow and the cab slows to witness it while they're all laughing and hanging out the windows and all of that. And she's just there absolutely transfixed. Am I even seeing this? And then the car drives on.
And the drunk cousin who's there to honey trap and set her up, he's gets lots of kind of demonic ceremonies wrought upon him, because he needs to perform these certain actions. So he's unwillingly but forced by the family and the neighbours in the building, the apartment building that she lives in, which is kind of maybe a conduit to where Eamon lives, or it's under.
It's that he's in the basement.
He's in the basement.
He's in the catacombs. Quite rightly, the crypts or catacombs underneath the building. Absolutely,
this apartment block, which is a relatively 70s modern apartment block.
Yeah,
it's not like some ancient Gothic castle. It's just a building.
Yeah, it's properly a prefab kind of a deal.
Every evening he's branded, or he has to drink a certain potion. Rosie will discover all this and try and flee the city, or she'll discover it. She'll try and flee the city. She thinks she has, but she's driven back into the city. It takes a left instead of a right, or she hides in a car. But they know that she's going to hide in the car. It's been set up. She's in the boot.
Dude, definitely in the boot, because think of the red. The red from the tail lights is going to look so nice. So yes, 100% in the boot, yes. Yeah,
so on the way in, on the taxi, they go over a cattle grid. So she hears in the car the drrr, and it wakes her up to see that she's in the town. Yeah, so that she knows when she's in the boot, when she goes over the drrr, she's out and the car's driving and it's driving and you don't hear the brrr and she's looking at her watch and then it stops and the boot opens and she's back.
Just before she's just before she gets to the boot, can we have like witnessing some of what is happening to the
she
fly
realizes
trap.
She knows what's
the honey trap dude, and like she's looking through a crack in the window, and all of this light is casting onto her face, and like the red from his skin getting flayed, and the brands being put upon him or whatever, man. And that's what finally inspires her to flee.
She sees the nonna, the grandma of the
who's been so sweet for the whole film.
She's talking to Amon, and maybe Nonna is the last or the strongest presence to prevent Amon from totally taking over. But at this moment, she's spying on it. The Nonna kind of her will departs, and she gets taken somehow by Amon, and
that's when like you see the rest of his skin erupt into these sigils and things, and he is now the battle has been lost for him, and the Nonna's died as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So Rosie legs it, gets in the car, but she's driven around the houses. She's taken back, and she has to somehow have the final confrontation with Amon and
in the apartment
village.
Block, which is
and then in the wider village as well. She's running around, and the villagers have become corrupted versions of themselves.
Yes, and they're all displaying like these horrible engravings on the flesh and things like that. It is insidious. Well, they're becoming the Legion of the 40th Legion, I believe it was, or the Legion of 40 or whatever.
Legion of 40.
They are slowly becoming that over the course of the movie, and we'll see like maybe the sigils and symbols will start appearing just like. Maybe in a midsummer fashion, in the leaves of the forest and things like that as we're walking past. But then it will start to etchings and graffitis on the wall, and we'll just like see that in the background of all of the shots as she's exploring and having a lovely time, man. And then it'll be upon the flesh of the damned as Amon. I love he's called Amon. As Amon's like Amon, like Bob's might is unleashed upon the world with his 40 legion. That's probably why if someone had given him a better name, he wouldn't be after.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't be so angry, would he?
He'd be having a lovely time in heaven somewhere. So she is now. She breaks free. She managed to overpower the people who've captured her, or at least were driving the car, and buys herself a little bit of time. And then that's where she's back in the village, where hell is slowly unleashing from the apartment block.
But she has to either survive somehow, or she has to sacrifice herself in order to save the village. Yeah,
and like. Probably the earth, because 40 legions is a lot of demons.
Yeah, it is. So she realizes by doing some investigation herself, or talking to the drunk cousin who obviously dies, she pieces it together that if she sacrifices herself to Amon, he'll dissolve, or he'll go back and fall back into the crypt to be locked away for 2 more generations or something like that.
And then her reward, because we can play it for the sacrifice, and have like the this giant conflagration of like noise and flames and blood and screaming as she merges
and synth music by Claudia
Simonetti. So much, man. And like just like shots of blood firing onto green walls, etc. Down in the basements, in the catacombs, because we have to play up the journey through the catacombs, man. Some of the corpses are sort of reaching out to her, etc. She gets closer and closer to Amon, and her final beautiful sacrifice, man. And then maybe have her make that sacrifice trembling at the feet of this dripping neon demon. So don't sue me, Nicholas Winding. And then her reward for such a selfless act is actually from the rubble. She appears from the rubble of this tenement building, potentially.
She's saved by God because she's a pure soul.
That's it. And then we can have some like absolutely gnarly God-coloured rays coming down and lighting everything up in another beautiful manner, man, like a very Argento.
Yeah, so she walks out of the village in the dawn, haloed beautifully by the sun, drenched in
completely slick
mud
with
and blood, and just and then walks over the cattle grid to leave the town. And I mean, that's the ending. As soon as she does that, credits are rolling over it, because we're done. We're out in 90 minutes.
Yes.
There we go. So that was our first version of I'm Next, Dario Argento's folk horror version of I'm Next. It's not bad. We'll pull that together.
Lily Collins, if we could.
Yes, great shout.
All right, mate.
100%.
That'd be fantastic.
Alrighty. So we have A and C left, and we have 2 and 3.
Right. May I have 2, please?
2 is David Cronenberg.
Long live the new flesh, man. All right.
An A or C?
C for Cronenberg.
Good, because A would have been too easy. So C.
It was A body horror.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
So C is slasher. David Cronenberg could do a slasher.
Okay.
Acid for we.
Sorry, are you diagnosing me, or is this
cystitis?
That was confidential.
Cystitis. Acid, the slasher.
Oh, amazing. It's got to be about modification of bodies. Maybe the slasher himself is collecting body parts to modify the ultimate body or something like that, potentially. I'm not sure, man. Like in a Jeff Fahey body parts kind of a sort of horror way, maybe.
The slasher is, I think it's going to have something to do with like surgery.
Failed LA surgeon. He loves Los Angeles. And
he likes to leave instruments inside his surgery. Like, you know, when they accidentally leave a scalpel inside them.
Like a watch or something. Yeah. Oh my God.
His MO, he goes around, this plastic surgeon who has been disgraced from other professions, has reinvented himself with a new identity, comes to a new town, and he targets the ultra rich with their pursuit of youthful looks. But in order to do that, or to get his kicks, he starts inserting things into their body or sewing things inside of them in order to...
And like in a crash kind of a way, he's getting like a vast amount of pleasure. Like whether maybe he kind of hopes it doesn't kill them at first, and he just loves knowing the power that he has inserted a part of himself, so to speak, into these people, and he has that control over them, and he gets to choose like the pieces of art, as he will refer to them, maybe, that he places inside his subjects or something like that, maybe
things that he's made, or bits of rebar, like a bit like Tetsuo Iron Man. He starts inserting things into it, and it turns out that he has done this to himself and has survived it, or he's created the new flesh, a metal
trying to make everyone better. Yes, absolutely.
So when he went and got struck off, whatever it was, he went and did some self-surgery
to prove he could, because he was struck off obviously for trying that with just animals at first, and then he tried it with a person. That's when he got struck off because he accidentally sewed a scalpel into someone, and then that's your first warning, but then he was caught. His first scalpel. You only get 2 of those. Yeah, 2 strikes.
The second time everyone it was like deliberately doing it.
Yeah, and it was something, and he was like,
he really went for it.
Give like some great speech about like when he first saw the X-ray of what he had done, and he was like, instead of being disgusted or shocked or appalled, I was fascinated. I created something.
It was the answer,
something new. I love the idea of like putting like rebar or tubes and like replacing like bowels with
like grafting,
piping and
grafting piping and stuff.
And just like making that half person, half art installation.
He's been going at this for a little while. So the I'm next part comes from one of his clients, or the daughter of one of his clients, whose mum or someone is going a bit too far, or is complaining of, or they've already started and they're realizing that something's wrong, that their body's rejecting whatever it is that's been done to them. They went in for a simple surgery, and then, I don't know, they had an accident. They got an X-ray from another private doctor, and he was like, that looks odd.
Yeah, what's this doing inside you then? Okay.
The doctor also has to select his targets. That would be the slasher element, is the doctor's pursuit of his targets and his research, and is following them, and he's invading themselves in their lives, and he's transmogrifying them into these Tetsuo Iron Man kind of things.
And the daughter of the the mother that's sort of like starting to show some signs of trouble, the daughter has already been signed up for the next in line for treatment, obviously. So that's where, man. Eventually the mother will collapse after insisting she is taken to the doctor. There is no one else she needs to go to, because that bond has been formed, and he has elicited that complete control over his subjects, as he always does. But the daughter might maybe take her to an outside physician, or is seeing a physician who gives the mother a personal sort of like
yes,
going
and then
over or something
you'd
like
have that amazing shot where the mother has to take her dress off, which she refuses to be naked in front of everyone or something like that, and you see the putrefied skin. That's been rejected. She's like in a walking infection. But because of the drugs that have been administered and the various body parts inside her that are administering these drugs to keep her going.
Yeah, well, it's just like 7 sloth out of 7 or something like that.
Yeah,
the amount of antibiotics that are in the system to keep that person alive. Like she slips the robe off, and like you can sort of hear like a
like the pumps,
and she slips it off, and there's just a hose coming out of her back that's just like bubbling a little bit and breathing a little bit and dripping a little bit as well, man. Like this like again like looking very metallic and sheeny, man.
But at the same time, maybe to set off the investigation, the daughter has to have already gone in for some surgery. So she's already had a little bit, but she's reacting to it maybe a bit more aggressively. It's a new version. So the pipe comes out of her or whatever it is that she doesn't expect. So it's a little lump, and it's like this hole appears in her arm or something like that, and she's like fingering its pustule. She doesn't know what it is. And then it becomes like a little tube, like half inch, but it's like organic. So it's like a little breathing. So like eventually it'll become like the tubes that come out of the alien's back.
The alien's back. But
she's got this little one that's only like an inch in her arm, and then another one and stuff. She's got this bio change that's happening to her, and she links it back to obviously her private surgeon. But the other doctor, her boyfriend, who's checked out and said, that is not normal.
Yeah, what's going on with your tubes?
He obviously, like the slimy boyfriend in The Fly, needs to die horribly.
Yeah.
In this version, he's the good guy. Demon Doctor, whatever his name is, Slasher Doctor, can like crush his face because he's got strength in his vice-like grip or something.
Yeah,
he can put his hand into his
head, down his esophagus. That's how he does it, man. He puts it down his tube. We're going quite tubular.
What's the fear of holes?
Oh, tryptophobia.
Trypophobia, yeah. So we're going full trypophobia for this.
Oh, don't, because
it is quite scary and gross.
So yes,
do you suffer from that?
I absolutely do. But dude, yeah, I love the idea of trypophobia. Absolutely, okay. That is where we go with this, man.
So that's what she's starting to suffer from. With these little tubes that are starting to come
going out, and
that.
Also like the first sign is, like you said, that hole that opens and then it grows forth.
It's
from
just
that.
Like breathing on its own.
Kind of a thing.
That is some David Cronenberg fan fiction right there.
Oh,
isn't it?
Mate, honestly, I'm feeling a little bit like queasy, and I love it. It's fantastic. I'm so glad.
And we're saying it in the
80s.
How is Slasher Doctor going to get their comeuppance? The serum is so powerful that it goes through all these different phases of evolution, like from the tubular thing, whatever that might be, in a man plus kind of way, to and it kind of comes full circle, and he just turns into like a single cell organism.
Yeah. Yes.
And obviously the heroine has to suffer the fact that she's turning into this thing.
The corruption of the flesh, man, that just continues. I think maybe she maybe like slumps off into the night after after forcing him to undergo
lives under a bridge
treatment,
now.
Maybe. Yeah, and like she is now in, and we're in LA here, man, so people can just disappear in LA and be under bridges and be gone and be nothing.
Yeah. She shuffles off in this kind of weird thing. Cool. That was I'm Next, the David Cronenberg slasher film, which didn't in any way turn into a massive body horror.
Sorry, we did the A. God damn it, man. God damn it.
Right then, well, that leads us on to A and 3.
Okay, so we've reached our.
We might need to change A because we've just done body horror.
That's a very good point. We did accidentally do, yeah.
So I'll give it up to you. What type or subgenre of horror should we do?
I mean, I quite like a sci-fi horror.
Sci-fi horror. All right, well then you are going to love.
But then it's going to be body horror. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. We will do sci-fi horror. And card number 3 is the great master, Mr. Sam Raimi.
Oh, Sam Raimi, man. Oh, bring him back to the horror fold, dude.
I mean, he would be good at doing Lunar Run when you pitched Lunar Run back in the day.
He absolutely would, man. Yes, he would. Oh, wowzers. Right,
so I'm next on for Sam Raimi film set in space. Are we doing future space? Are we doing present space?
I think maybe now. Okay. It could even be in the 50s because I can see him working well, like in a period thing.
Even in the period when we weren't in space.
Maybe. Yeah, but aliens, mate. Like they're all over the shop. Like if we're talking sci-fi horror, like we could do abductions, visitations.
Oh, I see.
First contact.
Oh, abduction would be good. Alien
I think an abduction
abduction.
would be
I'm
pretty
next.
Good. Yeah, that's it. So some of their friends have been abducted potentially, or like they're part of a group.
Okay, so we
that
do a paranoid.
investigates.
We do a paranoid thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Raimi paranoid thriller, where the teenage daughter's family, each one have been abducted and come back different, and she knows that she's next.
Invaders from Mars or whatever it is, when they have the mark on the back of the neck.
Yes.
And the parents are alien to the kid.
Her family get abducted by aliens one by one, and they come back slightly different. And she knows that she's going to be next somehow. No one gets to listen to her. No one thinks.
Everyone
no one
thinks she's
believes
mad.
her. Maybe she thinks she's mad. Maybe she gets committed. Sam Raimi, lots of loonies in the loony bin, for want of a less politically correct term.
Yeah, lots of like frenetic cameras going from cell to cell. Maybe in the asylum, she starts to meet other people who are saying the same thing potentially, which furthers.
Or in the asylum, the person who runs the asylum actually secretly believes her, and you get lots of horrible like experiments on her.
Yes, yeah. Wait,
So Raimi kind of white suits and little chain drill things.
Yeah, like the Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock scene when we're zooming all over the place, man. So are we like double downing on the like investigation and the alien abduction stuff in that like the people, so the CIA or whatever are in the asylum, like doing what was done to the abductees to work out what was done to them, like
reverse engineering it.
Yeah, that's it, man. So yes, thank you so much for putting it way better than that sentence I just said, which sounded like some weird tongue twister from a Christmas cracker. Yes, man. Yeah, exactly that. So like you're being like set upon by both sides here now. So the aliens are out there like abducting people, but also anyone who has been abducted and returns differently is like potentially getting like poked and prodded and investigated by the United States government as well, maybe.
Nice. And then so we'll bring in a little bit of the Blob here. So
I wanted some of the Blob. Yeah.
So her boyfriend is the local town rebel or something like that. So he has to bust her out. He believes, because he's seen it. He saw the abduction. He saw the light at the start.
Yeah, because he was on like Lover's Lane riding his motorbike around like no one's business, like in the start of the Blob, man. He was doing that, and that's where he witnessed.
He's doing his dirt bike stuff. Sees the family abductions. Yes, so she's got an ally on the outside. So while the horrible things, the Sam Raimi style horrible horror is happening to her on the inside of the asylum and all the loony stuff, he's on the outside trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe more of the town are turning into crazies in a George A. Romero kind of way, or turning into different people.
Yeah. Different, yeah.
So he needs to bust her out. So we've got the Blob. We're bringing in a little bit of the Blob where the town gets overrun by these alien abductions, I think.
Maybe it's the government doing the abductions under the guise of aliens. And then at the end, actual aliens turn up and unleash hell on the government.
What are you
officials.
doing? You stole our idea. An alien spacecraft crashed in the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
The government been working on it. They've unlocked some of the tech. We're now in the 60s or 70s. They've unlocked some of the tech. They're testing it out on these families for some reason. And so by using the alien technology, it's almost sending a beacon to the actual aliens to turn up. So the aliens just think they're like rendezvousing with a lost ship, not realizing they're rendezvousing with a ship that was crashed, the inhabitants of which, the alien inhabitants, were tortured and dismembered by the human government.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the aliens need to come and unleash hell.
Yes, and that's where like we can get the Raimi absolute splatter, exploding bodies, exploding heads. We'll bring in a bit of like the Neil Blomkamp sort of District 9 kind of weaponry that the alien starts to
phaser
unleash,
guns.
Yes.
Yeah. Against 60s Vietnam kind of M16s and Bell helicopters and stuff like that. Meanwhile, while that's all happening, our rebel biker kid breaks into the asylum on his bike. I want to see him drive his bike down
a fence,
jump over a fence, drive his bike down the corridors with all the cell doors opening and the inmates, the inhabitants.
Yeah, he's like dragging his like boot knife against the bars and screaming her name, man. Like, yes, absolutely.
He busts her out just as she's about to get some really horrible invasive procedure done on her. He busts her out, fights, accidentally kills a few people. Yeah, kills a few spooks by accident. get on the back of the motorbike, hightail it out of there into the bit like the Blob, into the street where all hell was breaking loose because they're about to get captured, and then the actual lights come down.
Yeah, dude.
And
Right, okay, so,
run.
dude, that's it, right? So they are on the run, and we get the helicopter, like, chasing them, because, like, the spooks are on their tail, man.
Yeah.
And that big halogen light is just, like, and then a real big light just out of the middle of nowhere, like a Fargo season 2 or something like that, man.
Yes.
And that's when, bang, guess who's arrived, man, into this 60s, 70s sort of nightmare street massacre, man. Yes, that's what's occurring.
So then the aliens disembark, and then all hell breaks loose. The opposite of Close Encounters now.
The
Sam Raimi version.
Yeah, he's just popping heads, exploding people, melting people. Skeletons are like being revealed when people are shot with like electric lasers, etc. Man, he's just having his big splathouse fun with the whole shebang. So, are they gonna maybe board the ship in the end? Like,
I was thinking
on the
that.
bike?
I was thinking that the town gets almost kind of taken over or destroyed. There's a ravine. The ship comes down on the ravine. They're just on the bike on the edge of the ravine. The ship's looking at them. He turns the bike around for a big run up, jumps the ravine over the spaceship.
I can see the wide shot now, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely, mate.
So they get out of the town, and then, they do a little handbrake turn to look at the town, and it's like destroyed, and the alien spaceships rise up to move on to the next town or something.
No. We just, because the aliens have come, like, because of the beacon that was firing off, they've lost the ship, right? So you see the carnage has occurred. So we've had all of the experimentation from the spooks who have got all the alien technology, and they're trying to use it on the populace of this poor town. That has then brought the aliens. People have escaped, and the last thing the aliens do, because they don't really want to wipe out the world, they're not after that, man. They're like after having a little bit of see what's going on down here and get the hell out of it. And so we see the alien spaceship hovering over the town. They're up on like Lover's Lookout, where we first saw our hero.
The spaceship crashed, and the best way to hide the spaceship crash is not to build a facility over the top of it, because people could see that. You build a town over the top of it, and then you have the facility underneath the town surrounding the spaceship.
Yes, absolutely.
So they don't know. A bit like the old Native American burial ground. This time it's aliens.
Yes, man, that is absolutely what's happened.
So that they discover underneath the asylum where the experiments have been taken, they find like a downward, like a tunnel or a ladder that goes down to the actual government facility within which they find the original crash-landed spaceship.
Yes, and those poor, tormented, dead aliens that are trapped in,
So that gets tracked to being, the entire town gets absolutely
razed to
decimated.
the ground. Absolutely.
The spaceship flies away. He looks at her, and then, what do we do now? And I don't know. I guess we've just blown this town. and then they drive off. Off to the next one.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Amazing, man. I love, Sam Raimi will work so well in period pieces. He'll be able to blow the heck out of everyone with alien technology, man. And, that's got a bit of his Wizard of Oz visuals. He can handle some big stuff now. He's worked in those kind of blockbusters as well, man. So that sounds like an absolute flipping treat.
You'll get the horror inside the asylum. You'll get the
so loads of different levels of horror as he slowly builds up to just pure Raimi carnage at the end, which he loves unleashing, man. He can't even help himself in the Multiverse of Madness or whatever, in the Cave of Souls, Absolutely sold. Yeah, I'll have that, please, mate.
Amazing. Well, that was the third pitch for I'm Next. Whew, that was good fun. I love that. I love Tobago Moon. We had a ton of folklore and weird sprites and aliens.
We did lots of good killing tonight, guys. I hope that you guys listening, thank you for allowing us to splatter all over your Mind Cinema screens. It was terribly presumptuous of us, but we're very, very glad you allowed us to.
Yeah, it was great.
We really enjoyed killing a hell of a lot of people.
We did enjoy killing a hell of a lot of people.
And heck, I mean, I'm sweaty. I'm covered in glistening gore. I've got tubes growing out of my back, Graham. I can hear a lagahoo dragging his backwards leg up the corridor outside of my room as we speak. And
that's no way to talk about your partner.
So I think that rounds us up, man. Graham, you've got. I don't want to put the responsibility on you, but if you could burn Golden Maverick, I think that might.
Yeah, I think it's my responsibility to do that
a little bit sooner. So can you do that carefully, please? I think Floyd sounded genuinely unnerved by the whole affair, and I would really, really love to have you back for our Christmas episode in one piece, if that's all right, mate.
I will certainly do that. What better way to end that than sending me off on a possible suicide mission to set fire some highly flammable nitrate film?
Maybe or maybe won't see you in 3 months' time.
Some highly flammable cursed nitrate film. What could go wrong?
Yeah, you'll be absolutely fine.
Absolutely fine.
So, guys, that rounds us up as my wonderful pitching partner described. So we have nothing left to say apart from have a wonderfully spooky, terrifying Halloween. Enjoy reveling in getting scared witless by some wonderful horror movies. Thank you, as always, for joining us. And until then, Graham, I guess we're going to be back around the time that sleigh bells start ringing, man.
I think we might be, yeah. Yes, I think we shall reconvene sometime in the future in December, roundabout when the lovely man is due to make his appearance.
Hopefully leaves us an ingot underneath our trees. But yeah,
because we've been good little pitchers.
We certainly have, and you've been wonderful listeners as always, and you're much, much appreciated. And if you want to give us a shout, give us some feedback, give us anything, give us a like on any of the platforms you're listening on, give us some 5 stars, give us an email at racehorsemovies@theneverpress.com. We'd love to hear from you guys as always. And until then, hey, I'm going to hand you over to Graham to say a proper goodbye, and I'm going to shut up my jibber jabbering.
Well, and I think Luke's pretty much covered it all. Until then, have a wonderful Halloween. Have a wonderful time in between Halloween and Christmas. Enjoy fireworks night and all the fireworks that go along with it, which is also my birthday. And until then, I guess the only thing left for us to say is love you, bye! And so, the incantations of doom and despair are over for another annum. The candles are guttering, the wind is abating, and the wolves on the moor ravage no longer. We bid thee all safe passage from the gates of the Psycho Kino toward hearth and dream. And pray you dream not further of what you have seen and heard behind this veil, for should you do so, what eternal unreason may then befall you. But should thine thirst lust for more tales of mystery and imagination, I say then to thee, sail to the lands of theneverpress.com to further seek out your terrible misfortunes.